Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for staying with us past lunch. And I'm hoping to make this a little exciting for all of you since we're going to be talking about AI. And even though I'm quite confident that even though I have just two panelists, we're going to have a blast, the three of us. So, and I think a topic like artificial intelligence and its use in communication doesn't need too much of introduction. Most of you here might already have, been using things like ChatGPT or Midjourney or any of those other LLMs. I mean, from the generative AI pool of, products that are there, and then I think for years now, marketers have already been using algorithms of different kinds to personalize communication to their audiences, or even like some of the people who were in the panels before us talking about dynamic, content optimization. Is that right? DCOs. There's so many abbreviations when marketers talk, ATL, BTL, DCO, CPM. So yeah, DCOs. And we have with us Kanika from Airtel and Varun from POCO, who will take us through, to begin with, how they define artificial intelligence, because I think when we speak about artificial intelligence in any panel, I think for the conversation that we are having, we would like to define what we are going to talk about, and then how they use it, the use cases that they have. So Varun, I would like to start with you. AI for you, for the purpose of the next 20 minutes, what are we going to be talking about and hearing about? When you define AI, how do you define it?
Sure. So for us, from a smartphone industry point of view, I think AI does two things largely for people. One is help them do more and do better. So convenience is a very important use case scenario for us, basis which we develop things on our phones from a software point of view, or also how we communicate to the audience. So mostly if you look at the smartphone industry has revolved around camera enhancements and also from a user interface point of view. So if I'm able to study over a span of 1 week that, okay, you as a user is mostly using Spotify 10 times a day, Instagram 50, 60 times if you're going to open up, depending on how much of real content you consume, right? And basis that, if I can change your home screen every week, that's customization, right? From a camera point of view, there's so many features that are coming out today, like photo bombing being the biggest problem that all of us face today, right? Like at the backdrop, I was taking a bunch of pictures and happily someone's working in paneer and roti on their plate, right? And I want them out, okay? So magic eraser on my phone can do that for you, right? So you don't have to worry about so many things in the past because AI somewhere is solving that as a solution. So for me, to convenience and from a user interface point of view is what AI solves for us, at least today, and we'll talk more about that.
So AI for us means a lot of things. So we've just launched, Airtel has launched the most fighting network against spam, which is the biggest problem as consumers that we face today. How did we do it? We launched it and powered it through AI, where we are scanning almost 100 million calls per day and about 150 million SMS every day. So this is an AI-powered tool which works at backend, which is layered with a network layer and also an IT layer, where it detects and tells you what is a suspected spam could be. So it is one of the most innovative things that we've done in the, in recent times on AI. And this is the largest use case that I can tell you. While there are many other use cases on AI that we've done and seen in the system, and we have a team who is directly working on all of those things to churn out. So as we are the second largest network provider, we also communicate to about 300 million consumers on, like a daily basis. So that's the kind of base that we are dealing with. How do we communicate to them? We need to communicate to them through SMS, push notification, emailer, WhatsApp, and all forms of channels. While the struggle that we had was churning out so many communication to different cohorts was seemingly a very, very difficult task. So how AI helped us was that we could, now people in different regions need to be served in their own language, their local language. So vernac translations meant a lot of time, effort, people involvement was very, very high, and the tasks were very, very longer. So therefore, we used again AI there, and we saw that we could churn out SMS, emails, etc. at a much, much faster rate with the help of AI. So that is one of the largest use case for us internally as well. While we are still developing that, but that is what is
Got it. So broadly, two things, right? So there is AI implementation at on the product end,
Yeah.
which is your, the camera magic eraser, or the spam detection, which is, the product. And then there is communication and how you use AI for that, which is the vernacular translation bit
Correct.
that you were talking about. Varun, if I can, ask you on the communication a bit, how do you use AI? Do you heavily rely on, saying generating images? And I think now, in fact, it is Zomato or one of these food delivery apps that helps you generate images if a restaurant to generate images if they're going to list on a platform. So for your product images, when you want to put it on Instagram or any such thing, do you just give a product image and say, okay, generate something that will possibly look appealing to a consumer? How do you use AI to communicate and put content out there?
So there are two ways we look at this. Now, if you ask me right now, product image per se and the content that we want to show, at least from a product marketing point of view, we still like to control that output from the start go, because I don't think there's a tool at that stage where it can just dish out X number of output based on that algorithm doesn't exist right now. However, since we are a lean team and we are heavily dependent on our amazing creative partners that we work with, all of them do have access to creative suites, which like Mid-Journey and so on, like you mentioned. What it's done for them is it's helped them be more efficient while still keeping the creativity at core, right? And that's what I like, because there was this huge debate at the time of AI coming out is, can it will it end up killing the consistency in what you do? Because that's not something I think we're ready with yet, because an AI generated image is only as good as the prompt you put in. If your prompt mechanism is not great, your output is going to be exactly like that. So what our agencies are able to do for us is ensure the right prompts go in, and there is a template we've cracked for certain look and feel. So for example, if I'm sending something below 10,000 rupees, there is a certain prompt I used for that. So at least there is consistency built into the system. Now that's from a communication point of view. From a media standpoint, and we were just chatting on the sidelines, Director's Mix by Google has existed for a long time, right? And that's helped you reach out to more people with less turnaround. So there is a template, you need to crack a certain message in that template, and the centerpieces of those templates can be customized. You all might have seen if I'm not wrong, this was done by Shah Rukh Khan and Cadbury, if I'm not wrong, right? Wherein they were able to customize it to certain street vendors and wish them well. That's a good use case of that. So we are using that as well. So more from a media mix point of view, customizing your creative outputs. Mostly I've experimented with YouTube and not other platforms. SMS, like she rightly mentioned, those tools exist. But from a creative point of view, a lot of potential is there to experiment for us.
Okay, got it. So using AI to translate, or in the case of you just want to personalize at scale sort of thing, this is one type of use where the consumer doesn't really know that AI has generated it, or they know there's some automation and magic going on behind the screen, behind the scenes, but it doesn't interfere in their experience of that AI. But Kanika, I'm coming to you with this question because a telecom brand possibly gets a lot of queries from customers. So you have a customer service number possibly where people call, and there are also now AI bots, right? So voice recognition, and then an answer to that question. Do you want to, I don't know, get another SIM card? You want to add some money to your recharge? Whatever those kind of queries might come in. So, and when a customer is faced with an AI chatbot in a voice, not a WhatsApp thing, but voice, what kind of reaction do you anticipate, and therefore how do you deploy AI voice in customer service?
So let me tell you one thing. As a any network provider is one of the most hated categories because all we get on social media is, my network is not working, you don't help us. For anything we do, we never get any positive sentiments from consumers because in that moment of pain that you're not able to get through even a call or anything like that, it's the biggest consumer pain point. So we are most hated brand from that lens. So how do we in now voice chats or these AI powered chatbots was a thing, but we felt as a company that we couldn't deploy it because we are anyways a very hated brand. Now, if someone's, trying to tell you in a very recorded kind of messaging and form, you will feel so lost. You will not trust me as a brand. So what Airtel does is, as a brand, we always believe in giving best to the consumer and not, trying to hide or whatever. Even if the network is not working, we tell them we are going to put towers, we are going to do this or that, whatever it may be. But we never lie. So therefore, AI voice based chatbots, etc., we never deployed because for us, we felt that it's not going to work because we are one of the most hated brands from that sense. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm an Airtel Black customer.
yeah. I just want to tell you, my first mobile phone number 2004 to now Airtel.
Yeah, so we have the win and the trust from about 300 million odd consumers, but this tech is not going to work for us because AI-based chatting is something that, consumers today want a more personal touch. This will not help them, even if the AI tells them some local contextualizing thing, that's not going to help them. So therefore,
Varun, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I can totally relate to what she's saying. So we kind of try to deploy this chatbot system for social responses. So at least first level of defense is
Yeah.
sorted with that. So unfortunately, what some of these algorithms still do is they study your history
yeah.
to reply to the future. Okay, and there was this guy who commented on one of our creatives saying, "I really love you guys as a brand. I'm liking blah blah blah." Right? Response to that was, "So sorry to hear that you have a problem." Okay.
Yeah, so it can be, very, very
Can go
difficult.
wrong.
Yeah,
We're
it
like,
can
shut
go
it
wrong.
down right now. People are better.
Yeah.
At least at certain places, right? So I
Correct.
can totally relate to that.
So another thing is, so we are also, because of the proliferation of AI, we're also seeing a lot of AI generated content, so much so that, now when you receive an email of a certain, kind, you're like, this was written by ChatGPT, I know. Or you see an image, this is generated by an AI. So therefore, when you have to use AI generated content, like maybe almost directly out of the box sort of thing, you just got it, you do a little bit of, if there are 6 fingers, you make it 5 and then you upload it kind of thing. Do you still feel that consumers may not resonate with that kind of content? Or because last year, okay, I think early last year, so 2022 is when ChatGPT came onto the scene, DALI and all of that came onto the scene. Then this was open to public, people could use it, and you saw a whole host of brands, make these mid-journey creatives. So I think I saw a movie promotion where there was a whole international star cast, and Vin Diesel in Banaras, and somebody in something else, and possibly it was it went viral at that point, or something like that. But do you think consumers still you can appeal to people with visuals like that or content like that?
Yeah. It depends. Actually, if there's fun that you want to create as a brand, as an element, add some fun element, maybe it could add some value. But if you are a brand who's on a very emotional tangent and wanting to communicate something which is more about more emotional and messaging which is creating memorability, then I think AI won't work. It maybe if you are in a fun zone, then it could work for brands because people are used to the tonality of the brand language that you're speaking. While I don't think for a brand who's building those emotions can't be done through AI. So that's what I would lead to.
Agreed, because we've had these debates while we do shoots, right? Like, do we want to use, lifestyle models from AI-generated databases? But no, I want that emotion caught live, right? And
Also about authenticity.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
today, like we saw in multiple other presentations, that authenticity is the key. So even if you today try to speak to lots of influencer, do lots of influencer marketing with them, but the fact is, if you want them to change the way they say things and push your brands through too much into it, then it will never do as much as reach that it would have organically done the way his style or that influencer style. It would never do. So same way, AI can that authenticity factor will go missing if we do too much of AI, and then we lose the connect with the consumers.
Got it. So what I'm getting from both of you is that when you want to communicate to retain authenticity, or in the case of, customer service and things like that, when human, speaking to a human is very important, or getting things wrong with, going with a sorry message when, there's possibly appreciation coming. So communication to that extent will not change because of AI, but possibly in your functions, like, something at the back end, efficiencies is what you're possibly looking at. So can you give me examples, both of you? Varun, if you could start, where is it that you are using AI to improve efficiency and not necessarily directly communicate with the customer?
So I think it definitely helps, in our media mix planning. AI is definitely useful there because you don't have to spend the same time like you used to do 2 to 3 weeks in the past, wherein you would go to an agency, sit with them across the table, debate based on past reports. Now you've got dashboards. I think we're going to see a presentation on that as well, right? Where it's easily able to do that based on certain ROI derived from the past. So that's definitely a use case scenario that I'd love to consider. And we are doing that to a certain extent. And from a creative output point of view also, the creative partners will always, they will be here to stay, but it's only using the right tools and the right prompts is going to help them stay relevant and stay more efficient going forward. From a GPT point of view, I feel it's just a much better search engine. Very controversial statement, but that's what I feel it's going to be, because it's doing what Google used to do for you, pulling out a bunch of information based on a search you put, but it's just coming out with too many other references. ChatGPT is bringing all of that together as one message for you. Now, using that effectively is a responsibility for all of us, right? If you use that to templatize, it's not going to crack a rapport like she rightly mentioned.
Got it. Kanika?
Um, so I'll mention, since I handle all the marketing budgets, I'll like to point out 2, 3 use cases on bringing efficiency into AI if I do that maths. So now consumer testing or insights, getting insight from consumers, whether we are testing creatives or we are doing insighting for product development or we are doing insighting for any other problems that we are facing, whether it's churn, etc., could be multiple things. However, now there's for consumer testing of concepts, there's a technology on AI link technology, which is that you do link test of consumer concepts through AI. So that as a tool, I think is a good tool because one, it sends you some direction on the creative concepts, whether it is looking workable or not workable, whether it's like I would like to point out the HUL methodology, whether it's red, amber or green, where does it really follow in that track. So that is one of the tech that I feel has brought in a lot of efficiency from a consumer inciting space point of view, because it's very, very efficient, not only from the time lens, but also from a cost factor lens. So that is one of the things that I think AI has helped. The other thing is from the media lens, if I look at it, there's a lot of contextual messaging today you can do. Like TV, we all know is like, is large ATL medium, goes out to masses. While with this contextual messaging, I'm able to at least target the right audience, the right cohorts. I'd just like to point out one campaign that we recently did, which was on Airtel Extreme Fiber. Now here our core theme or messaging was entertainment Zordar, are you tayar? Wherein we partnered with all big OTTs and we wanted to tell consumers that all sort of content is available with us if you buy this product, which enables your Wi-Fi at home. So with that, now to tell consumers that so many different so many different content is coming. Now every day there's a new content on some different OTT app, etc. So how do you communicate to them efficiently? So I thought that it was the best way to do it because you could change the titles, you could change the logos, and you could also change the voiceover with the help of AI. So that if we had done it with the man hours that, would have gone to the agency and, deploying it would have been a Herculean task. So I think AI really helped us in that campaign. and we were able to do, so we also wanted to chase all entertainment content. So we partnered with some platforms, and we were able to do that efficiently and in a very, very cost-effective manner, I think. Yeah.
Wonderful, and time's up. so, so I think what we all, are going to take away from this discussion definitely is that AI is not going to change communication fundamentally, simply by the end of the day, and humans, I think, best respond to human communication. But AI can definitely help bring efficiency with the kind of examples that Varun and Kanika have shared with us. And I hope that was useful for all of you. Thank you so much.